What's going on, everyone? It's time for another horror film review. Today we're going to be talking about a film called Ominous. It was released by Midnight Releasing sometime in 2009. It was written and produced by Ryan McKeegan, also produced by Sherry Blakely, Kevin Flaherty, and Samuel Gillum, and directed by Justin Bergonzini. He's also done films like The Innocent, Popovich, and the voice of the fabled American Wage, One Quarter at a Time, The Pinball Hall of Fame, and Red Road. So, Ominous. Well, a family living in a city decided to go on a nice trip out to a cottage country to a nice remote home and stay there for a while. But little did they know there's some angry spirits there that don't want them there and slowly drive them crazy and try to scare them and don't want them on their property. So yeah, this was an interesting little ghost tale. Now, the acting and stuff is pretty terrible in this. It's pretty wooden. The story is very vague and not very interesting, but they did have some pretty interesting type of scares, I guess you could call it. Like, creepy moments in this. Like, the makeup on the ghost spirits and stuff was pretty interesting and pretty well done, I thought, for this like lower budget film. Now, Midnight Releasing's hit and miss when it comes to films and stuff, so I was pretty impressed with this one actually. For like the really low budget and stuff, the acting is actually better than majority of like these type of micro budget type films. And like I said, the makeup on the ghosts and stuff was pretty well done. There is a handful of somewhat creepy scenes in this too, but it's just your run-of-the-mill haunted house with no real rhyme or reason, and they basically just get up and leave at the end, which is you don't really see that very often in movies. But yeah, it was just a fun little turn off your brain and watch a little spooky story. This is like a campfire story that you tell your family around while you're out camping or at the cottage or something to creep them out. And I guess this is like, if it was a rainy day, you'd put this on and freak them out a bit. It's a good beginner like film if you don't want to throw them in with like Insidious or The Conjuring and stuff like that. You could put this one probably on. But yeah, but the acting is not the greatest. Still, there's very thin plot to this film. It's pretty basic and standard. And then they have some random weird flashback scenes that didn't really make any sense. So I thought that was really odd. But it is better than the last like 3 or 4 films I've watched, so I was pretty pleased with it and relieved with it. So yeah, it is enjoyable to an extent, but I think it overstays its welcome somewhat a little bit, and there are some really annoying characters. Most of the characters aren't fleshed out, so if you're really looking for deep, insightful characters to follow along with in a paranormal story, you're not going to find them here. This is your typical minuscule character driven story with no real reason for it. So like, they go to this place and then the haunting randomly starts and then they don't know why. There's no real explanation why, and then there's they sort of give a reason why they decide to get away, but then even like while they're there, like the husband is having an affair with his wife, and he has to go back to the work, which is clearly just going to go and leave her for a bit do his thing. But yeah, and they just like, there's no chemistry between any of the characters and stuff, so it kind of threw it off. But it was still amusing. There's some random funny scenes where it's like so bad it's almost good. But yeah, for the most part though, it was just your standard movie. So I'm gonna give this one right in the middle of the line, a 2.5 out of 5. It is better than most of the micro budget films that I've been watching, so I give it that at least, and definitely a more interesting interesting look, I would say, for a film like this. They did try to make it creepy, and there is some pretty good creepy little scenes in there, thrown in there, but they're few and far between. So, yeah. But I'll link a trailer down below if this sounds like something you're interested in. You want to check it out, it's linked down below. Also linked down below is my Instagram, where I always post clips of films to review in the future. All my stories usually have the film title, hashtag, and subgenre film, and a hashtag so you're aware of it. And also down below is my Letterbox and therapy reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the film. So follow me on one of those two platforms. Stay in the loop with this channel. Like this video, share so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any, and also if you have any films or film franchises in any genre that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. Also, make sure you subscribe, because hopefully you find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out, like this one, or so you hear my opinions on classic films, recent films coming out, and other things as well. So make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell, because we're diving into one of the more supernatural superhero type films. I'm going to be looking into the Blade trilogy, the vampire driven Blade franchise. So I'm going to be diving into those in the next one. So tune in for Blade in the next review. So make sure you ring that bell. And yeah, but watch out for all those random ghosts haunting your houses, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.